There they go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to Knotfest. My name is John Garcia. We are here for First Listen. I'm joined with my friend, my co-host, my guy, my man, Hardcore Keem. What up, dude? How you doing?
Hey, another Friday, another banger.
Oh, we're going to get our heads smashed into pieces right now. I am joined by Andrew and Michael. Andrew is on the left, Michael's on the right, from Rip to Shreds as they unleash their brand new album, Jubian, on Relapse Records. Guys, welcome to First Listen. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us. And congratulations on the album. How y'all doing?
Thanks for having us on, man. It's just waiting for 5 o'clock.
You like most everybody on a Friday.
Definitely, yeah.
For the weekend.
So how are you guys feeling now that this album is out into the public? I know it's only been out for a couple of hours right now, but certainly there has to be a relief feeling that this is now out in the hands of the listeners, yeah?
Definitely big, especially on you, Andrew.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it's always a little bit stressful right before the album release. You're thinking about what sort of things can go wrong. Maybe people hate it, or you find out you accidentally slipped in a sample that's not approved, and then now the whole thing's got to get closed down, right? But now it's out there. There's nothing I can do about it. Makes me feel better.
Fuck yeah, Michael. What about you, my friend?
Oh yeah, I'm just happy it's finally here. It's been a lot of just, I guess, building and just like anticipation. Because I joined when it was pretty much the music was done. So I've just been, hearing, test masters and test mix and all that. So to finally just have the record in hand, to have the CD in our hands, just awesome. Can't find any other words to describe than that.
It's been pretty long. It's been a pretty long time.
A year, like a full-on year, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to stop talking and we're going to hit play on this album. Y'all, this is actually going to be a true first listen for me, Keem. I haven't spun this yet. I've been saving it for today. So this is going to be a full real-time reaction. I'm very stoked. This is a very hyped record and I'm very much looking forward to this. Everybody, new album from Rip to Shreds starting now. And y'all don't waste any time.
Right into it.
Yo, what's up, Curtis Carlegio Fredopska? I can't say your usernames, everybody, but it's there in spirit. Yo, what's up, Dactyls? Nice to see you.
Fucking Brian.
Brian. I think we're going to be saying that a lot, yeah.
Dude, it's always awesome to watch Brian when he's doing his blast beats.
I agree with that because for the video that y'all put out for Reconverting Freedom, he looks almost bored back there. Like, it's like, why don't you give me something challenging, you motherfuckers? Like, what the fuck?
Got control, I don't know what to say.
Curtis saying this is pretty fucking solid so far. Pick it up right where Luan left off. How were you feeling as far as when you sat down to start writing this album, Andrew? Did you have ideas in mind left over from the previous album? Were you trying to challenge yourself to start fresh? Like, what kind of goes through your mind when you start producing an album?
It's always basically starting fresh. I very rarely have songs that sit around for a long time. I'll shut up until this solo's over.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm listening and I'm listening to you in like two different parts of my brain.
Yeah, but I very rarely have songs that just sit. When it comes time to write a new album, I write everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
We started like last April and writing until maybe July, and everything was written during that time period.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective from that, because I know it changes based on the artist and based on the band and what's going on. Did you feel like, I know that you're still, really the driving force behind this band, but did the expansion into a full band play a part in the composition of these tracks?
Yeah, having the other members of the band really, I'm writing like the basic arrangements and the riffs and the melodies, but being able to hand off a song to Brian and Ryan and Mike and letting them put their own stamp on it, it takes pressure off me to do everything all at once, and it gives them a lot of freedom to come up with something sick because they're only focusing on their part.
Brandon Corsair in the in the chat says, "I hear these guys are leagues. Who among us, right?"
If I were to accept that title, I'd be like a complete poser. Can't rep it.
Maybe we by extension, I guess. Like the longer you're in this band, the more knowledge you will have, I imagine.
Eventually, yes. I've been told this too by Andrew specifically.
We'll have him wearing a maid outfit and cat ears by next year.
Shit.
Actually, Brandon Corsair sang the intro to that second song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a friend of mine.
Fuck yeah. Nice shout out, Brandon. Hello, thank you for joining us, my friend. So already one of the things, even, as I was looking at the titles of this album and listening to some of the singles and everything like that, I love the juxtaposition of the really weighty, important, heavy lyrics that you have, but also the tongue-in-cheek parts like this song or the last song that takes longer to say the name of the song than it does to listen to the song. And just like having that little bit of levity in an album where there's not that much levity to begin with, I think is really, really important.
Yeah, it's always about finding a balance, especially with this song, which is giant cock split apart.
Yeah, it's so good.
The chorus literally is giant cock over and over, and I felt that was important to have.
Because this is based on historical events, yeah?
This one is more like a political allegory. The person in question probably wasn't like a real person, but kind of like an amalgamation of multiple different people from that time period.
Brian again with those D beats right there. Let's fucking go.
Dactyls, that's a nihilist flag.
Keem's got his stank face on.
Yeah, drummer's insane.
Every week when we were recording this, Brian keeps telling me, "I can't do this. It's too hard. I can't do this." Then he comes in and he lays the shit down.
Gotta believe in yourself, Brian. You can do it. And he did it. Ooh. I was reading an interview that you did, Andrew, recently, talking about how the early songs of this band were meant just to be recorded and played and not meant as a live type of thing. And this one, with this album, you've been thinking a lot more in that like that slow down and that like swing and that's where I can really hear that type of thinking in that, to where it's like that is going to be really, really fucking cool live.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you know, when I was thinking about these kinds of big shifts in tempo before on the previous albums, you know, it's a little mechanical because, you know, everything is meant to be done. You know, I programmed the drums and then I recorded the drums, you know, to that programmed track, and it does turn out a bit mechanical. I think here, you know, to me, it feels a lot more natural with Brian's drum.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Having a real person behind the drum, to have those like little idiosyncrasies and those little like flaws, even, you know. Not that there's any flaws in Brian's drumming, but you know, we're all human. Fuck yeah, guys. We're 2 songs in, everybody. I hope your neck is still intact. And here we go. In Solitude, Sun Moon, Holy Cults Part 3.
Right off the gate.
This is probably the song off this record that we're not going to play live. It's too long. It requires too much practice.
Did you plan on it to be that long, or did it just kind of morph like that, where you just found endless riffs for it?
No, I had the concept that I wanted to make it, you know, a very long song. I wanted to challenge myself to write a long death metal song that was aggressive and had lots of peaks and valleys and kind of its emotional content. So yeah, it's planned to be that long.
Oh yeah, and did you use, I know this is the third part of, you know, just an unplanned kind of trilogy of songs, codas of songs and stuff like that. Are we going to hear things from other parts of the songs that we may recognize, or is this its own little entity?
No, you'll hear some parts pop up.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Brandon Corsair says, I fucking love this groovy riff, best part of the album for me. It's already, man, the different ebbs and flows of this, from starting with those blast beats to where we're at right now. Mike, I'm curious as far as, like, with your playing and getting into this band, how Andrew's writing in this band has challenged you as a guitar player and what you've learned about yourself, just in the short time that you've been playing with them.
Yeah, you know, the one word I would use to describe Andrew's riff is dense. It's very, just like, just a lot of these songs are just very packed with riffs. Some of them are a little more simpler than others. Like, I think the song from the Rip the Shred song, like that one's a little more straightforward, straight ahead. But then you have a song like Race Trader that's coming up later that's just packed full of just turnarounds and riffs that just kind of are some variations of each other. So it's a lot of that. So for me as a guitar player, I just honestly like bite into that stuff so deep because that's what I love. That's what I'm into. That's pretty much the music that I prefer to play. So, you know, when he gives me a song like that, like Race Trader, that's, you know, forget how many like measures it is in like Guitar Pro, but like, you know, if I see a song that's like more than 60 measures, I know I'm in for some like good shit. Like that's gonna really challenge me. So I really like embrace and enjoy the challenge of having to learn this just really packed song. You know, it's fun for me. I love it. That's the type of music I love.
Fuck yeah, and it's coming across too.
Yeah, so, you know, on stage, it's just like once I'm at that point where I can play these songs, you know, in front of a crowd and not have to like totally look at my hands the whole time, I'm just spinning my head the whole time because these songs are really, just that sick, you know, to not only play but listen to. So it's like, in a way, I'm kind of playing both the role of like a musician on stage and a fan in the crowd, because I can't help but just, you know, move the, you know, hair just all over the place. So that, you know, is challenging, yes, but I love the challenge. It's a great thing to take on.
Yeah, and even as fans of
Yeah.
music, when the people creating the music are fans, like I think back to that Bloodbath
Oh,
album
yeah.
that came out earlier this year, right? They just sound like they're fans of death metal, you know? And that's so fun as listeners to hear the bands having as much fun as we're having. Andrew, sorry, I know we were talking over that, but that build up right there in that song, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about with the emotional peaks and valleys. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta give them, you gotta build them up, and then take the energy down a little bit, and then that gives it a little space to build it back up. You know, and you can take it wherever you want.
See, giving Andrew a rest here.
Even just those little additions right there, like having this repeat back around with the double basses right there when those weren't there before.
I like how there's like no lyrics right here. It's like this is just like a statement though. Move. I know you guys don't play this live, but
I mean,
It's
maybe
just
one
people
day
live,
we'll
yeah.
play every part live. It'll kill our drummer, but
Take a little break.
or if you could do it
Break it up.
as like a melody, like an intro melody, that would be sick.
That production. You did the production on this, Andrew, didn't you?
yeah, recorded it in this room. This is the Weeb Dungeon.
On the Weeb Dungeon. There he is. So speaking on that, one of the things that I love about being a heavy metal fan in this day and age is the fact that it's been around for so long that there are enough artists that have been listening to so many different things for so long that they can now take different eras of things and put it together so it reminds you of when you heard a band for the first time, like Entomb or like Cannibal Corpse, but still fresh and new and like something's, you know, doing someone brand new. I was listening to a band the other day, they're a black and speed metal band called Butcher, and though you can very much hear the Venom and the Bathory and the Merciful Fate and the Judas Priest in their influences mixed together in that way, it sounds like something completely fresh and new. And every time that I listen to SHREDS, I feel like that with, you know, in the spirit of death metal and grind and stuff like that, guys.
For me, I definitely think that I know a lot of people wouldn't agree, but I feel like modern death metal is, on average, actually better than old death metal.
Fighting words! People are gonna come out in the chat now. No, I don't necessarily disagree with you though, because like, look at what Cannibal Corpse is doing nowadays, right? Like, they're putting out albums that are still fucking great. Let alone to people like, you know, bands like Y'all, Undeath, Skeletal Remains, all of these other bands that are coming through, you know, worshiping at the altar of Obituary, but then putting their own stamp on it as well. Oh no, we lost Mike. Hang on, he might be back.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, yeah, there he is. We got it.
Sorry guys, yeah, my screen is connected, but I'm back.
Happens to the best of us.
And this part, I kind of think of like, Funeral Doom, Warning, Mournful Congregation, maybe Hooded Menace. That's kind of where my headspace was after the ending of the song, because the whole song is about this guy, this character from a martial arts novel who was, he's like super powerful, he's unbeatable, and so he's really lonely because he can't find a worthy opponent. So I felt like that was kind of like the emotional climax for the song.
Yeah, Hooded Menace is a great shout right here. It's kind of like dirgy, slow, sad, mournful end. Yeah. What was the thought process, if there was one, behind putting this album third, or putting this song third?
No one has the energy to listen to a 10-minute song at the end of a record. And if I want to fit it on the vinyl, and not have it be at the end of the record, it's got to be on side A. So, either I put it at the very start or at the end of side A. End of side A seemed to make more sense.
Fuck yeah, I love it. Yeah, that was some of the thinking behind that too. It's like anytime you look at an album and it's like 8 songs, 9 songs, the last song is 16 minutes long or something like that. Always.
No one's got time for that.
And then here you go, picking shit up right again after that slow, dirty, depressing fucking end of that song. Y'all, we didn't mention it because we probably should have paused it, had a moment to just reflect on it. But that was a fucking journey, man.
I always try to have mini journeys in every song. But maybe something like this, which is 2 minutes versus 10 minutes. They have very different, feeling. Obviously, short versus long, they have different feelings, but I think they can express different things.
Yeah, certainly, and I love the sequencing too, as far as after the really long song, just have a very short, impactful song that gets you right back into that mood for the rest of the album. Yeah! Yeah! Question in the chat from Dactyls says, when writing songs/albums, how do you work through that creative process? Is it always easy, or do you overcome writer's block as well?
For death metal, I feel like I've gotten into a groove where it's not difficult for me to It's difficult for me to run into writer's block it's uncommon for me to run into writer's block in death metal now. But I do remember when I was working on my Shred album, my solo Shred album, that was a totally new thing for me. I was trying things I'd never done before. And, it was really easy to get my head up against the wall and not know where I was going. Sometimes you just have to keep pushing through. And other times, I have to put it aside. I'm going to work on something else for a little bit and see if I can come back with a fresh perspective.
Awesome. Thank you for the question, Dactyls. That was a good one. Yeah, and this after this past song, the melodious intro to this one and this held out note, you're like, all right, there we go. Punch right in the face.
love those dynamics.
I feel like, I've just been working with extreme metal for a while, and I've been doing so many songs in this style. So the more you work at it, the easier it gets. At least that's my feeling.
I agree with that. I mean, even, not exactly apples to apples or anything like that, but and I'm sure Keem can agree as well, with streaming, when I first started, there was a lot of like, holy shit, this seems so hard and monumental, I can't do this. And then the more you get to it, those things that seem monumental and huge at the beginning are like, oh no, it's just like daily tasks now,
Oh yeah. Especially stuff you hear, like, what am I doing? You're like, why am I doing this?
Hey, I had that spiral today.
Oh, be like, well, let's go do the troubleshoot. It's always when you really need to stream that everything always happens.
Oh yeah.
So we actually we shot a playthrough video for this, me and Mike, with Brian. Brian, I think his day job is like a photographer, videographer, so he also does video. He did the video for the playthrough. I'm not totally sure when that's going to come out. Maybe like a week or 2 weeks or something. But I mean, this is a tough one to do, to play through.
Did you, was it just like, oh, wait, shit, we messed up 2 minutes through, gotta redo it all the way again? Mike is saying yes, yeah.
We did 2 big takes, I think. And then we went back and fixed some small mistakes, like, we're gonna punch in here and here.
Yeah.
There's like maybe 2 total, maybe 3 to get them out. Yeah, it was really straightforward. It's fun. Especially this part. Whenever we get to play this live, I'm not crying.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I really hope Brian gives us the okay to do this live, because for him, this is the real killer. It requires a lot of stamina from him, and we don't want to tire him out.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really hoping he'll be like, okay, boys, let's do it. 'Cause I love this song. This is one of my favorites off the album.
It's fucking great. To say that it's also, since we've looked to this release as a single, one of the more impactful songs lyrically on this one as well, which I know is a big, big part of this band. And speaking of live, Brandon Corsair has a question in there, says, how do you pick songs in a set list now that you have so many to choose from? Is anything already marked early as a must stay that'll never leave?
I think probably Opening Salvo. That one probably is never leaving the set list.
No, why should it?
Yeah. I think Rip to Shreds also. And then after that, it's whatever everyone wants to play, really.
Do you change set lists every night, or do you kind of have a set thing that you have whenever y'all do a tour?
Maybe let's give it a pause real quick.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. So I think, Mike, when we played, when we played the Decibel Festival, our set list was Sacrificial, in Mourning,
Bone Ritual,
Bone Ritual,
Rip to Shreds,
Opening Salvo, and Remnants.
The Remnants.
Yeah. And then I think we changed, we like took out a song and added Peregrination like earlier this year. And then the last show we played, and then we're gonna play again with Ghoul next week.
Yeah.
We
Santa Cruz.
added in like 2 more songs. So, it's not like we changed night to night, but I think we'd get bored if we were playing literally the same set list, for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of still getting to that point where we're building up like a sort of like a bank of songs that we just all know, and so I think we'll get to that point eventually, especially through the album cycle for Jubian here. We'll get to a point where we'll be like, okay, let's switch this up maybe, or play this, or stick to one set list, whatever works best for us. Shows are crazy. It's hard to think on stage.
Yeah, of course. But I think that makes a lot of sense, given, the album coming out and getting familiar with these songs and playing them live and everything like that. So, hey, I'll be happy to see any of them, and especially because opening salvo, man, the first time that I heard that song, I literally had to stop everything that I was doing. We're pausing this album now and we're going back to this song. Like, what the fuck? All right, are we ready to continue?
Let's go for it.
Let's fucking do it. This is Reek of Burning Freedom, everybody. We have 3 more songs left. Yeah.
I can just see the madness brewing in Keem right now.
I don't see how y'all can do it, especially multitasking, doing vocals and guitar. I can't do both at the same time. Like that.
It's a lot. This one is a lot of practice. It's a lot of practice.
Because you have to like.
You also have to be a demon partially too. You have to be straight out of hell.
This was the first single from the album, yeah?
Yeah. This was, I think, because I felt like it had the right energy for a music video, so that's why it ended up being first.
I mean, I think it worked because, as a fan of the band previously, hearing this was like, it's like, a nice breath of fresh air, being like, yes, SHREDS are back. This is the song that's a lot of energy in it. We'll be in good hands whenever the album comes out. And speaking of, this is your first album on Relapse Records, so congrats on the jump up and the move
Thanks,
up.
man.
How has that been working with Relapse with this album cycle?
I mean, they've been awesome. It's been really easy and smooth. I mean, I can definitely see like there's a big jump in what Relapse can do for us, and also what they expect of us.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. I feel like they've been really great to us, and I hope the album goes well. Everyone hopes that.
Yeah, of course.
So far, so good. Being a part of Relapse is an honor. 100%.
Yeah, I've chatted with some of their team here back and forth, just through my daily job and stuff like that. Like, their roster is great. It's so diverse, and it's always like, that if Relapse comes up, there are a lot of record labels like this, but for me, Relapse is one of those labels that, regardless of what it is, I'm gonna hit play on it because, like, it's probably gonna be cool. I've been, I have an advanced copy because we have Hoax on one of the other streams that I do on Monday. Completely different band, but also so fucking good.
Oh yeah, they're great at that. I mean, first time I discovered death metal was, I think, a Relapse release. I think they put out Dying Fetus, Horror Patrician. Yeah, the music video for Homicidal Retribution. That was the first time I ever heard death metal. The Relapse, for me, has been the standard for just extreme metal in general. So, yeah, to be a part of it.
That's a full circle moment, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Homicidal Retribution would have been the first Relapse thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, Dying Fetus are still so sick.
Yeah, they just released a new song very recently and haven't missed a fucking beat.
Incredible band.
What was John Gallagher? What did he shave his head at that time, or not yet? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was bald. He was bald. He was totally bald back then. Yeah,
Just, guy just fucking like, okay, we just run a marathon, everybody. Time out, take 5. I'm gonna pause it after this song so that we can give the last song everything that it deserves.
Yeah, and then I feel like it's always nice to have, a little bit of breathing room, something a little groovier, as we get to the end.
Yeah.
And this is why, this is also like the last track in our set list now. I feel like it works really well for that.
Yeah, like one last circle pit to end the set. Let's go. Yeah, I think the sequencing has been really good. Keem knows I'm a sequencing nerd. I'm just an album nerd in general, but like, even with that long song at the really early on, it doesn't feel like you're slogging through different parts of it. Each song has its own like little, like what you said, like a little journey that you keep going through that makes you want to keep going forward through the album, and it's a really good runtime as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, the CD was the standard, right? And people were writing 50-minute albums, 60-minute albums, but I always lose interest or focus by the halfway point. So for me, that 35 to 40-minute mark is really the sweet spot. So I'm really glad for the vinyl comeback, because unless you want to do a double LP, you got to keep it under 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that's also making, like, exactly what you said a couple minutes ago, is thinking about how that sequencing is going to be on the vinyl, too. Because there are albums that, like, I'll listen through streaming and be like, they did that specifically because this is going to be the start of the second side of the vinyl, Ooh! Hello!
I always think it's nice, to have a little bit of melody, not like in a Gothenburg Melodeath kind of sense. Even though I love Gothenburg Melodeath, but I feel like straight death metal kind of it could do with more melody,
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I've been seeing that a lot recently with even bands that would be just your straight, meat and potatoes death metal will, on an album or on a song, throw in just like a little teensy bit of a hook in there. Give your ears something to latch onto.
There's our Limp Bizkit riff.
Keeps about to break stuff.
This whole album is a stage thing. It's like it's so good.
I can see from Andrew's face that he's reading the comment from Slugbait in the chat right now.
I'm pretty sure that's Jacob from Mayor Cognitum, because he hates Turnstile, and everyone trolls him by trying to send him Turnstile.
It's like, wait, you don't like this band? Let me send it to you again so that you can listen to it for the 50th time and maybe redo it. Oh, fuck yeah. Well, what's up, Jake from Mayor Cognitum? Excellent band in the chat right now. All right, now we're gonna listen to some Turnstile. No, I'm joking. Oh All right. I've got it paused because we've got this last song in here, which I want to be able to say on stream before we play it, which is scripture containing the supreme internal energy arts that render the practitioner invincible throughout the martial realm. Did I get that right, Andrew?
Yeah, you got it.
Fucking do it! All 49 seconds of the song. I fucking love it.
Crazy.
Oh.
When did it stop?
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Everybody,
Thanks,
Jubian by Ripped to Shreds. Do you ever get tired of people saying, "Ah, yes, that band ripped us to shreds"?
I have not heard that often.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Usually, what I hear is "to shreds," you say, and you know, I swear, if I hear that like 300 more times, I'm gonna get a little bit upset.
Just a teeny bit. He might even write a strongly worded letter to some of you over there.
That's funny.
No, but this is actually, like, legitimately, this was fucking great. I've been looking forward to this since it was announced, and it has everything in it that you'd want. Keem, how you feeling about this one?
This was All Gas No Breaks album. It was like, besides Sun Moon, the little ending for that, it was just hitting you in the face constantly. And like I was making a steak face, like, dang, like this is, yeah, it was a dirty album. Great job. Like this is really good.
Thanks, man. I mean, my personal tastes for music generally tend towards like super fast shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm hella into gore and grindcore, mincecore. You know, I got a Haggis shirt on. You know, so I generally prefer it when bands go fast. You know, if there's too much slow shit, it's like
Yeah,
I'm just gonna listen to Arch Agathis again.
Oh man. So Andrew and Mike, I'll come around to you. I know you were the main writer on this one, everything. So this is geared a little bit more towards Andrew. But I always ask everyone who we have on here, what do you want people to take away from this album when they listen to it?
Sick riffs and blast beats, I guess.
That counts.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a perfect response.
Yeah, we had, who was it? I think it was Mortem. We had someone on who was just like, I want them to listen to it, and then as soon as they're done, completely forget about it. It's like it's just death metal, you know?
That was Mortem.
Yeah, it's so good. Mike, what about you, man? I mean, I guess a little bit of a different frame of question, but like when you listen when people listen to this, what do you want them to take away from it, and what do you hope this spurs in the future for both yourself and the band?
Oh, when people listen to this record, I just want them to feel like they just had a new asshole ripped into them. Like that's all I want. I just want you to walk away like Keem with your stank face just permanently set.
There you go.
Because that's what the thing calls for. I mean, I see a lot of great things in the future for Rip to Shreds. I mean, just based off of the response to the build, just to the buildup of Jubian, and now the release. We're gonna see how it does after this. But so far, it's just been awesome. The response just from the buildup, like I said. So the future is just bright. We're going to Europe next year, so that's kind of the next big thing on the list. So just onward and upward from here. Just like Keem said, all gas, no brakes in the Rep to Shreds camp. We're going to keep going, just, blasting and ripping away. We're not going to, play 10, we'll play 10-minute songs, but not with, 6 minutes of slow stuff and a a bar at Blast. We're gonna just
Keep on hitting it.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah. Just with this one, it's just another feather in the cap of already reliable discography, and just we know anytime that there's gonna be a new song from Rip to Shreds, it's like we're hitting play on that, and then we're gonna be in good hands from over here. So Andrew, Mike, congratulations on the release. Just like with Luan, I have a feeling that the more we listen to this, the more shit that we're gonna find, and the more that's gonna stick out and everything like that. Because how do you digest all of what we heard in just one listen? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
It's dense, man.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, Mike, thank you so much for joining us today, taking time out of your day to chat with us and listen to
Thanks
your
for having
music
us on.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on the album. And I'm stoked to see you whenever it is that we see you, whether that's here in Nashville or somewhere else around the world sometime in the future. Have a good weekend, y'all. Really celebrate this release and have a good time and relax knowing that the thing is done and it is out there.
Right.
It's all
It's all cruising now.
Yeah.
Well, we got the show next week, so it's all cruising after the show next week.
after that, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that cruising.
Steak dinner.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching out there. We'll be back. I think we're off next week, maybe possibly Keem, and then our 28th stream got moved to November 4th because the album got delayed. So we'll be back definitely on November 4th when we're going to be chatting with Devin Townsend for his new album coming out. Yeah, I'm very, very stoked for that. You have no idea. But if we don't see you before then, have a great Halloween, everybody. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. For Andrew, for Mike, for Hardcore Keem, I'm John.